I'm dating coach and relationship expert Jennifer Hurwitz, and welcome to Doing Relationships Right. Raw, authentic, and insightful, this podcast is a no bullshit look at all things dating and relationships. The good, the not so good, and the what the hell was that? No worries, I've got you, and we'll figure it all out together without taking ourselves too seriously here on Doing Relationships Right. Here you are at midlife. Your boobs have entered a new zip code. You have genes older than your daughter's new fiance. And now you're single again. But is that cause for a crisis? Hell no. It's time to pick yourself up, Buttercup. Whether you're freshly unhitched, just dipping your toesies back into the dating pool, or ready to dive into a new relationship, my new book, Midlife Priceless, A Dating Coach's Guide to Finally Doing Relationships Right, has you covered with new dating and relationship advice tailored to meet you wherever you are in your relationship journey. Join me, Jennifer Hurwitz, author of best-selling books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, as I share BS-free tips and laugh out loud personal anecdotes to help set you on the path toward finally doing dating and relationships right. Grab your copy of my new book, Midlife Priceless, at jenniferhurwitz.com. That's jenniferhurwitz.com. Good morning. Good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and I'm your host every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. Whenever I'm here, and I just love it. And I love that I'm here today because I have a good friend of mine. Can I call you my good friend, Stacey?
Yes, of course.
My good friend, Stacey Freeman. And I just have to, I'm jumping right into this. I'm not even messing around. No mishigas, no crap today. Cause I just read a great book, Stacey, and it's yours. I have author. And what else are you? Author, editor, writer, author. Mama, I bought my husband's Mistress lingerie. That is the title of this book. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's bright yellow with a hot, sexy pink thong. So if you're not watching this, but you're listening, I'm going to give you a description of this. It is the hottest little number. I bought my husband's Mistress lingerie by Stacey Freeman. Now, do not listen to me one more minute. Go get this book. It is fantastic. It is a page turner. I don't read everyone's books that come to me, Miss Thing, but I read this one. I was excited for it. It's been a long time coming. Right?
A long time.
Okay, so
you and I go way back.
Let's hear it. Let me hear first of all how this came to fruition, how it started, where you came from, your whole shtick, and then we're going to talk about the book.
Okay, so this came from the kitchen counter after my divorce. I did not want to go practice law. I have a law degree. I had never wanted to practice. Then, getting divorced, and I'm like, okay, got to go back to work. I had toyed with things over the years, but I had always had this burning desire to be a writer, but never really had this passion to write about something. And lo and behold, all of a sudden I had something to write about. I would say maybe 6 months after my divorce, I published my first article and started a blog. And I treated that blog, because I wanted to go back to work, like an online resume, but it became so much more. It was originally, telling my story and a way to kind of showcase my ability, different styles of writing. But in the meantime, I was telling this story. Some of it, it had happened already. And then some of it was in kind of real time. And it just took on this life of its own. And I wrote it for about 2 years. Almost exactly 2 years, and ended it practically 2 years to the day from when I started, and was left with this incredible body of work that I said, okay, I need to do something with this, but I didn't know what. I kind of put it aside. I started, during the time of the blog, I had started getting published on larger publications, submitting articles, being picked up. And by 2014, I started an LLC, started a business, and started writing professionally, getting paid for what I was doing, and just, created a writing services business. I don't just write about divorce. I have a legal background. I work with a lot of attorneys. I work with matchmakers. My client range is incredible. I just love the people that I work with. But always in the back of my mind, this body of work was sitting there. And I would come to it, okay, I want to start, doing something with it. I want to write a book. How do I make this into a book? How do I tell a story, that is kind of linked together, because when I was writing it, I really didn't know what the story was, in a lot of areas. So I eventually came back to it and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. This was a few years ago. And I got it to a point where, I said, okay, throw caution to the wind. And upon a recommendation to me, I sent it to unsolicited press, small press in the Pacific Northwest. And about almost 3 years ago, almost jumped out of my seat, while I was on a freelance writing job, to read that my manuscript had been accepted. So, and then it took, a lot of work
I know the
from
feeling.
that
Yes,
point.
yes,
This
yes,
well.
yes.
And here we are. It's coming out, now. So
yes, now it's out. Yes,
now.
yes, I've read it. I got it. I was lucky enough. So
yes. Thank you so much.
I love it.
So,
I do. And
thank you.
it's smart, and it's just, you're a great writer, Stacey. I mean, we know we've done this for so long together. I've been lucky enough to be in a couple of your articles, and
yes, you've helped me so much.
No, vice versa.
Quotes, advice.
Oh, my gosh, we are just, I just adore you. So I think that what you're doing, and I started the same way. We both started with writing a blog, and then it turned into whatever, and then a book, and then a career. And so I know, I mean, I get all the feels when I talk to you. So I just think this is an amazing, it's a great culmination of everything that you put together. It's beautifully connected, and it makes sense, and it's positive. It has it has a happy ending. I mean, you have a happy ending. This is not one of those like, I hate my husband, I'm bitter, I'm angry. No, this is like me, like One Happy Divorce, my first book. This is a good, happy, I just love it. I just do. So will you tell us a little bit about the story? Can you dive into that a little? Do you mind?
Absolutely. So I married my high school sweetheart. I met him when I was 15. He was 17, and we were together for a total of 24 years. We have 3 children together that are now, I can't even say this, 22, 21, and 17. And I'm makes no sense since I'm 22, but I turned 50 this year, and which is another reason why I'm so excited that the book came out, because it was just like perfect timing for me. But I was married, kind of living my life, lots of laundry, taking care of kids, lots of driving to activities, had my toddlers, my 2 little girls, and we were sent over to live. My husband was sent to live in Hong Kong. And we went together with our 2 girls who were, one was barely, I think she was almost 2. The other one was 3. And we moved to Hong Kong for my husband's job and lived there for about 2.5 years. Came back and kind of had that humdrum 4 years at home, running around school-age children. He's going to work. I was a full-time stay-at-home mom. I don't, just crazy, but just like life. And we were told to go back. My husband said to me in 2010, he was asked to go back. And at that point, I couldn't. I had done it. I had a baby there. We came back with our beautiful son. And the thought of going back and doing that all over again, I wasn't at that place in my life. And we made this decision together that I would stay in New Jersey and he would commute. So this is not like commuting into Manhattan, but what it ended up looking like was he would spend a couple of months there, come back for visits. We'd go on vacation, but he was there more than he was in the States. And it started to really weigh on me. I was frustrated a lot, overwhelmed. The kids were little. When this started, the kids were 9, 8, and 4. This went on for exactly 2 years. And then when he came home for a visit, he had his suitcase in our bedroom. And I walked past it and I had always gone past it and never really thought about it, but something looked different. And it turned out it was because I realized the top of it was closed, and I opened it and found a gift in there, which was, a gift for her, a piece of lingerie. And I realized at that moment, we were not alone. And it was like a Lifetime movie of the week. I was standing there, in my bedroom in absolute shock. Like, you can't imagine, like, the just everything was spinning for me. And, confronted him, denied it. Within the next few days, he told me, the timing is a little unclear at this point, but within that week, he said, all right, but prior to that, a few days earlier, the previous week, I was supposed to meet him in London for a visit. He was coming in from Hong Kong, stopping there for work, and we were going to spend a weekend there and then fly back to New Jersey together. And he, out of nowhere, had said, I'm tired, don't come. And I was like, because I had already been packed, ready to go. My parents were coming to stay and watch the kids. But I was busy. I was like, all right, whatever, not great. But as that day wore on, I called him up and I was pissed. And we got into an argument over the phone. And at that point, I was standing in my bathroom talking to him. And he said, I'm done with our marriage. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? What does that mean? We have, 3 kids, a house, and a cat. Like, what does that mean?
Wait, this was before you found the lingerie or after?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Do you have me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Technical difficulties. Yes.
Technical. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, it's not your fault. It might be that we have a tornado going on here in Charlotte. So if it's a little funky, my Wi-Fi is good. Yours is good?
Yeah, now it's good. My Wi-Fi is never good, but it's good now.
Sienna will fix that for us. Let me just make sure. You can't change devices while recording. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure. Sienna, will you fix this, honey? Please, for me. Okay, Stacey, just pick up from, I'm going to ask you a question and then you'll answer it. So, Sienna, pick up right here. So was this he said this to you before you found the lingerie or after?
Correct. Before.
Which one?
So
before. Okay.
Before. So when I was annoyed that he had canceled this, weekend to London and said he was just going to come home to New Jersey, I got into an argument with him over the phone while he was still in London. And I said, how could you cancel? I was really looking forward to this. And he said, I'm done with our marriage. I've moved on. So I was like, what? I didn't even accept it. And I figured he must be jet lagged. Who would say something like this? 3 kids, a house, a cat, life. We had just been on a family vacation a few weeks before. So he came home and he was acting a little odd, but he always maintained he was kind of just done. And that's during that week is when I found the lingerie in the suitcase. So at that point, it kind of set everything in motion that was going to occur. And at the end of the week, he went back to Hong Kong. I stayed home and had to resume my life with my kids because, you can't go to bed. You've got people to take care of. And he said he needed to see this through, whatever this was. And so I started to look for lawyers because I didn't know what was going on. And I kind of kept that in my back pocket and started to think about next steps. But, during those few months, it was really, it was unbearable because I was in a lot of pain and I had no idea what was going on. And I looking back, I had panic attacks and I walked out of a school concert a few days after my husband went back to Hong Kong. My daughter was sitting there, I had showed up to the school for a concert. I walked over to her and I'm like, Mommy can't stay. And that to me, to this day, that's one of the most heartbreaking moments about the whole thing.
Okay, y'all, we need to talk about the holidays and divorce. It's a stressful time for families, especially when alcohol is involved, and our friends at SoberLink want to help. SoberLink has teamed up with divorce and family law experts to provide information that offers peace of mind during the holidays. For those who still haven't heard about SoberLink, it is the solution if you are going through a divorce and custody case involving alcohol. Whether you are falsely accused of alcohol use or are concerned about your child's safety because of the other parent's alcohol use, SoberLink can help. SoberLink works to keep children safe and its technology makes it a gold standard in alcohol monitoring systems. Don't miss out on SoberLink's free guide for the upcoming holiday season. Request it today at www.soberlink.com/DRR. That's soberlink.com. We all have those. We all going through divorce, right? I mean, yes, we do. But I don't want to interrupt you, but I mean, we keep going. But this does have happy. I mean, we get to the.
It does. No, 100%. I mean, so anyway, a few months go by. I saw the writing on the wall and I said to him, a few months later, we had briefly, tried to reconcile. He came back into the house for like a week around Passover time. And at that point, I realized I'm not doing this. It was always his way or the highway. If I wanted to give things a try, I would have to move there. There was too much in the air to make that kind of a commitment. So I said, get a lawyer. I've got one. And we were done pretty quickly. Once he got a lawyer, within 11 months, we were done. And we co-parent from 8,000 miles away from each other. So everything was great with him coming back and forth, every month or two until COVID hit. That, was unexpected. But he talks to the kids every night over FaceTime individually. And I always say he's as good a dad as he can be from 8,000 miles away. And he loves the kids and they have a, nice relationship with him. I have a nice relationship and the kids are our first priority. They are our top priority. We are on the same page about the big stuff. We do not get mired down in the small stuff because who cares?
No, who cares? Say that again for the people in the back. Say that again.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly. And I'll tell you, Stacey, that is the point of this whole podcast today is that, I talk about blending families. I talk about co-parenting. I talk about all this stuff in relationships and doing relationships right and but the bottom line is you have to put your kids first after a divorce. You have to. I'm a real big fan of putting your kids second during your relationship and marriage. I'm like, you've got to focus on your relationship during your marriage.
We definitely failed at that. I definitely failed at that.
Me too.
Back,
but after,
I can see.
Yes, me too. I know exactly what I did. I hold myself accountable. I'm like, I was a really shitty partner, but like I was a great mom, right? I mean, I put my kids first, but after a divorce, for God's sakes, you've got to put your kids first. And that's what I'm reading your book. And I'm like, I feel like we live like parallel, like you and I are so alike.
So many things are so similar.
So many things are so similar. Mm-hmm. And we just put our kids first. And so did your husband. I'm going to call him your husband. So did your ex, you put your kids first. And that's how it has to be. Just has to be.
You have to, but you also have to, at the same time, you have to own mistakes and none of this, putting your kids first and always doing the right thing by your kids. And we do the best we can. And to say that it's always correct and we always make the right decision is, it's irresponsible to ourselves and it's unforgiving because this is not an exact science, parenting, and we make mistakes. We say things, especially like when you're reeling and going through this, it's very easy to say things out loud that perhaps you wish you could kind of suck back in. And, my ex-husband and I are both guilty of that. And I'm sure a lot of people are, but co-parenting takes practice. And you get better at it. That's the remarkable thing. And, I'm almost 11 years, out of this. And my kids are big. And just to look at them. And I know my ex-husband has immense pride in what they've accomplished. And it's like, okay, it wound up okay. And was it perfect? Hell no. Did the children wish their father lived around the block? Oh, yeah. Did things go wrong over the years? Were there disappointments? Uh-huh. But you know what? This is what makes us who we are. And, without sounding trite, we get stronger from it. And, it is what it is. And you have to kind of deal with what life throws at you. You have to, and you have no choice. And I had no choice but to get my ass out of bed and get up. I had school lunches to make. I had to drive to school, take care of kids, clean my house. Like, the sun was still going to rise the next day. It didn't matter what was going on. So that's something to really keep in mind if you're going through this.
If I'm correct, are we still you're in a happy relationship? Yes. Okay. Yay. I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure. I should have asked you before, but you're in a thriving relationship. You have a new, right? I mean, this is not, life does, it's hard. It fucking sucks, but it does get better. I mean, I have so many clients who are just, but you've got to get out of bed. You've got to, you got to trust me. I work at
you have a bad date. Okay.
Have a bad date.
You go on another one, maybe
That's
another
right.
bad date. There may be 10 more bad dates in front.
It only takes one. It only takes one person,
Right.
Oh my gosh. Right. And I love I earmarked, do you mind if I just, I'm not going to read it, but because I don't want to, okay. There's a part that I thought was interesting. I'm not going to read that part now, but you talked about, something that I thought was so funny. Well, not funny, but about online dating fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I thought that was interesting because here's the thing about it. I didn't know it had like, I mean, for God's sakes, I'm an expert in this. And I never thought it had like a quote unquote name. I'm like, you guys are burned out. It's okay. Take it. So thank you. I learned a little bit in your book today, but the online dating fatigue that we all go through. And I'm like, it's hard. It is hard. So like whether you're doing, marriage right, you're doing relationships right, it takes work. Everything takes work. You got to put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
But did you find
I don't know if I'd have the strength to do the things that I did, like commuting to the city and, going on dates. I used to call it my commute. So
I know. I have a girlfriend in Jersey and she's like, just had enough. She's like, I can't find anyone. I have to drive an hour. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
It's hard. It is really hard. So did your new man, you met him on a dating app or no?
Yes. Swipe.
Yay. That makes me happy. Another one. Mm-hmm. See everybody.
And he was close by, which I didn't realize because I was always dating people far away to like kind of separate, I had like this dual existence. So God knows how many times I swiped past him. Yeah.
It's just interesting how things happen. It just takes one person. That's it. Just one. Oh, so good. So good. Okay. So this book, it comes out. It's out right now because, when this podcast airs, it's going to be out and it's exciting. And I think that it gives like hope and it's positive and Stacey, I love it. I just think it's great. It's great. Can I talk about one part in the book that I found is like really interesting?
Whatever you want.
Okay. So you said something that I really, really resonated with me. Hold on. I have to find it. I just thought I never heard this before. And I thought so the chapter is when a wife becomes the other woman in her own marriage. So interesting to me. I never thought of it that way because I didn't have the same experience. So could you mind delving into that a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you mind? It's not.
No, of course. He had made some kind of comment to me that made me feel, I think he said, I had said, you're cheating on me. And he said, well, when I'm with you, I feel like I'm cheating on her.
Yes, that's how you started the chapter. So my whole body, I got the hair stood up on the back of my neck because it
was very hurtful.
I cannot even imagine.
But it's a powerful statement.
Yes, it is.
Because it really told me a lot about how he was viewing our relationship. And I think when somebody says that to you, you really, when you're in this kind of a situation, you really have to do a lot of listening and a lot of soul searching because it's very hard to be honest with yourself. And I was watching a show on Hulu yesterday, and there was a scene that actually just kind of stopped me in my tracks because it was so similar to this experience that I had with a cheating spouse and the wife going up to the person that they were seeing and, saying we had a life and, the husband kind of saying, well, I don't care about the old life, the old, partner anymore, but I'm in the future. And it's very hard as the person that's left behind to really absorb that. And so when he made that comment to me, it was shocking.
Oh my gosh.
But it was very, very telling. And I think that when you're in any situation with a partner, whether you're married, whether you're going, this kind of turmoil, or whether you're dating somebody new, you have to listen. You really have to listen, because if someone's not texting you, if someone's not, you talk about this all the time, the signs of,
Yes.
If someone's interested or not. And that interest can be from your spouse. So
such a good point, Stacey.
Here I had a spouse who clearly was not interested anymore. And I was holding on, chasing and, begging him. At one point, I had written an article for the Washington Post talking about how, the article is, I'm happy my husband married the other woman. But in it, I talk about how I actually, when he told me that he was leaving, I got down on my knees. I was on my knees begging him to stay. This is very early on. You can't beg anyone to do anything. You can't expect anyone to do anything. They show you that they're interested. And so this is really what, in that moment, in that statement, there's a lot of these kind of moments which I highlight in the book that really they spoke to the reality that was going on. So we paint this picture for ourselves of what we want to see, and you take the old life. And my husband and I had a lot of wonderful times. I was with him for 24 years, and that's not to be discounted, but and it's to be treasured, and it's a memory, but that memory is not to be confused with what's going on currently. And that's what I was doing as I was trying to process all of this. Yeah.
A lot of us do that. I did that in my last relationship, my 5-year relationship. I just thought, oh, this is, I couldn't let go of the hope of what could be. And you can't date the hope what could be. Exactly. You have to date in the moment. Live for now.
And you can't live backwards.
No, you can't. You can't. And I think it's Maya Angelou, right, who said, if someone shows you their true colors, believe them. Something like, I'm not doing it right, but not saying it right, but it's exactly right, and I think I'm proud of you. I'm not being condescending, but I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of self-growth, self-work, just being self-aware to know that when someone says that to you, like, oh my God, fuck, that killed, it hurt. But to say, you know what? I deserve someone who worships me. I deserve someone who wants to be here. I deserve someone who wants to show up every day and fuck off, I'm leaving. Right. I mean, because a lot of women, a lot of people, men too, they don't feel that way. They stick around and they think that it's going to change or he's going to fall in love with me again. No. I'm proud of you. I think the book's amazing. I cry. I'm getting emotional. It's good. It's good.
It'll make you laugh and cry because there's so many things to laugh at during this. So there is levity, while all this
we're so similar, Stacey. We're so similar because my first book's the same way. I'm like, I just felt like it was just you need some levity in all of this, right? I mean, you have to.
Definitely.
There's no other way to do it. No other way to do it. Okay. So tell everybody, first of all, where they can find you, and everything will be in the show notes.
Okay. So StaceyFreeman.com. It's STACEY.
Perfect.
Did you hear that?
Yep. Are you losing me again?
No, I don't know why it keeps picking something up. Let me go back. So yeah, you can find me at StaceyFreeman.com. It's StaceyFreeman.com. And, wherever books are sold, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart, IndieBound, the local bookstore online. So
awesome. So it looks like this again. I'm going to show everybody. It's beautiful. I love it. And Stacey, thank you for being here, honey. I appreciate you
so much.
I love it. I love your story.
It's always fun to chat.
I know, right? I feel like we're not even recording, but we are, everybody. So that's it. So everybody, where you can find me, and everything about Stacey will be in the show notes. Where's my website? Oh yeah, JenniferHurwitz.com, and everyone just go grab my new book too, Midlife Priceless.
I have mine.
Do you have yours? Yay.
I do. It's on my shelf.
I'm so happy. Yay. And if you love it and you feel like leaving a review, there it is. It's okay. I'm so proud. I'm proud of this one. This is a good one. As you write more, it gets better. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. Just leave a review on Amazon or do something, whatever, but just read it and enjoy. And, that's it. Do something fun today. Don't get hit by a tornado, for God's sakes. No. We have a tornado going on right now. So I'm waiting. So hopefully this is going to be good and you will all hear it and it's going to be wonderful. Anyway, I'm babbling. So do something great today. Peace, love, and so much truth. Bye, Stacey. Thank you, honey.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Doing Relationships Right. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast episodes. And please grab my books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, on my website, jenniferhurwitz.com. And look out for my new book, all about doing dating right, coming soon. As usual, thanks for listening. See you next week. Peace, love, and truth.